What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Diesel Creek. My name's Matt. We're loaded up in my pickup truck right now. Got the trailer on the back there, and we are going to pick up something I bought almost a year ago now and kind of forgot about all summer. But I called the guy and said, hey, I told you I'd buy that thing back in the summer, or actually in the spring rather, and kind of forgot about it. If you still got it, I'll come get it. He said, yeah, it's still here. So we're going to get it. See you there in a second. Nice little 14,000-pound trailer. I think it's got about 16 foot of deck here. Been sitting a while. Deck's rotted clear off of it, but the frame's all there. It's nice and solid. Plate says February of '96. Well, some nice 6-inch deep sinkholes where the tires were sitting. And of course one of the tires is locked up. Luckily I'm not trying to pull the thing home. I did a few back and forths here on the road and still nothing, so that's a problem for another day. Let's see if we can't get this thing unhooked from my truck and drag it up on the trailer. Trailer looks pretty balanced. Oh yeah, not even that heavy. Nice. And because the one tire is locked up, I don't even have to chalk the wheels. Oh, there it is. We ended up getting it drug up onto the trailer there pretty easily. I did end up flattening that tire just so it wouldn't be dragging as much, make it easier to get up on there. But it all went according to plan. Pretty nice little trailer. I don't know if I'm going to keep it or if I don't really have a need for it, so I'll probably throw a deck on it and just sell it outright. All right, well, we're back here today for the main event. Picked up the trailer yesterday. And this gem is coming home with me today one way or another. It has been sitting here for quite a while, but not quite as long as that trailer was. I think he told me he had it running maybe 10 years ago, something like that. Is there still a plate on there? Yep, still a plate on there. It was last registered at the same time as the trailer, 96. But I do believe he said it was running 8 or 10 years ago. He had it started up. Anyway, it looks like we got some stuff to pull away from it and see what we can do about getting this thing hopefully fired up and driven onto the trailer. But if not, I still have the winch. We could drag it up there if need be. Yep, I think we addressed that back in the spring. That door will not open. So it's fun to climb through the passenger side. Look at that lovely moss on there. That thing's beautiful. So, what do I know about this thing? Nothing. Don't know anything about it. I did look at it back in the spring. Made the guy an offer on it. He said it's yours. And then I promptly forgot about it. Interior's a little rough, full of stuff. Headliner's falling down there. No doubt been mice infested over the years. But the cab's not too bad. Got a little bit of rot down here, I see, on the seat support. The cab corners, the rockers all look pretty good. Bottom of the door's not too bad, which is pretty rare for our area. Both doors have some rot on the skin right there, but not too bad. The dump bed itself looks pretty good. Not too bad. Usually these upright pillars are rotted out. This one looks like it might have been patched at one time. And the other side's got one spot I saw was a bit rotted. But the floor is in really good shape. The box itself, not any big holes in it that I can see. So yeah, I think the box is probably worth what I paid for the whole thing. Now, I didn't really mess with this thing when I looked at it, but I did confirm that the engine turned over at the time. I don't remember if I pulled any fluids or anything. I just said, well, it turns, that's good enough. Some sort of gas job, unfortunately. I would imagine it's an International engine, but I don't know that for sure. Oh, that's good news. It has coolant in there. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's got pretty clean looking oil on the stick. Cow's pretty rotted here. That's not good. It has one of these washer fluid bags, which I've only ever seen remnants of. I've never seen one in person. They're always disintegrated. This one's still nice and pliable. So I guess that's a good sign. Bottom rad hose. Looks like the hose clamp on the bottom rad hose is blown off. That's not good. Wonder why that is. I've never seen one just snap off, but I guess anything's possible. It says International on the valve cover, so I guess it's an International engine. I really don't know anything about International gas jobs other than the one that's in the grader. Guess the very first step here is just going to be moving all this stuff away from the truck and cleaning out the cab. Let me just set us a battery in here. Alright, that guy looks like the hot. If it can reach, just barely. Good and tight. And time for the smoke test. It doesn't sound like it's drawing power anywhere. Nothing's clicking on. Nothing's on fire yet. That's a good sign. Oh, it actually just moved the truck a little bit, so guess the engine's free. Yep, there we go. Everything sounds good. I hear something clicking under the dash, so we're good. Starter worked without hesitation. Still can't get this door open. Only the good Lord knows the condition of the fuel in the tank. I didn't even check it because I know it's going to be trash. So got a temporary tank here. I'm gonna wire it up onto the hood. Seems stable enough. We'll be able to get it up on the trailer hopefully. Oh, look at that. Doesn't even have any mouse nests in it. That's a bonus. Filter looks pretty good. Nothing too terrible. Carburetor doesn't even look too bad. I guess the very first thing I'm going to do is hit it with a little bit of gas. Just drizzle it down the hole there and hit the key and see what happens. Guys ready? Contact! She's turning a bit slow, but I just found this can of old ether in the cab there, so let's see if it still works. Look at that, beautiful. Contact. Imagine.
Nothing's going to be easy, Matt.
What's that?
Nothing's going to be easy.
Nothing ever is. Oh, there we go. Alright, got a temporary tank thrown in there, inline filter straight into the carb. And I'll probably throw the filter back on it just so we don't suck up everything that blows off the engine when it starts, if it starts. Fingers crossed. We'll give that another go. Look at that. idling. Not too bad. Man, I wish I could get in and out of this thing. Part of the problem here, and the fellow told me it was going to happen, is the front float's stuck. You can see it bubbling up out of that vent right there. So, yeah, that's not good. We'll do a little tappy tap on the carburetor and hopefully it loosens that float up.
Put the button down all low.
What's that? Yeah, it's on low. Yeah, we got no brakes.
No brakes.
Nope. Thing's sitting here idling nicely. Yeah. Oh, no. The exhaust has a lovely fragrant tone to it. Let's try to get this thing up on a trailer, I guess.
Where do you want to stop at? Get up on the top.
Probably
Sliding into it from that. Go ahead.
get out, look at that.
Strong starter runner.
Yeah, it's a pretty good starter, I guess. Yeah, it looks pretty good actually.
That's probably I probably had that one off.
I think we're gonna go ahead and leave it there. Starter pulled us the rest of the way up on there. Well, there she is. We got her all chained down here, looking good. I think with a little bit of a carburetor refresh, that thing probably would have driven right home. That thing seems like it runs good when you got it running. Just likes to flood out. And no brakes. That's another issue. So the hydraulic brake does not work at all. But that there lever is a hand brake. I believe it's on the transmission. And man, that thing works fantastic. You pull that thing just a little bit, you come right to a dead stop. That's pretty nice. Well, we just got the old Lodestar home here, and I guess it's time we get this thing unloaded. Normally I would have to call out the wife, but since I brought that Fiat Alice home with the forks, life has been much easier. I'll just unchain it here, hook up the loader to it, and we'll drag it off the trailer all by ourselves. Spare the headache. Well, that didn't go too bad. Thank goodness for the old Fiat Alice. Guess it could have gone a little better. I couldn't get out of the way of the thing fast enough, but yeah, not too bad. Didn't hurt anything. I was watching my fork position, you know. I was trying to make sure I didn't tilt the fork up underneath the pumpkin as it came down and damage something, drive shaft or whatever. But I didn't. All is well. So yeah, find this thing a place to park here. I could do this pretty easy if I cheated the forks together some and was able to get them on both sides of the pumpkin down there. I could just pick the rear end up and walk the truck wherever I wanted it. But I've tried a few times and I cannot get these stinking forks to budge. That's on my project list. I mean, there's room in there for them to move. They're not galled onto the shaft or anything, but man, they're on there. I can't get them to budge. Anyway, they'll just throw a chain on this thing and we'll shove it where we want it. So here's the interior. I didn't really get to show you guys this too well when we were at that guy's house. There's some junk in here, but there's actually some good stuff in here too. He left me several chains in here. Rotor tiller deals. I don't know what I'm gonna do with those. Look like scrap metal to me. This stuff here, I forget what it's called, but it's a woven fabric. It's kind of like the stuff they make ratchet straps out of. Super strong, super handy for tying stuff up, so I was glad that's in here. Check out this giant ingot. I bet you that thing weighs 40, 50 pounds. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but it's pretty cool. It's just like a steel ingot. I think there is 4, yeah. This is an old school reflector kit for the side of the road. If your truck breaks down, it's like the modern day triangles. You set those out so nobody hits you. But there's that guy there, and then there's 3 of the triangle kits underneath the seat here. And not much else. So there's a couple chains mixed in here. I'm sure I'll scare up a couple other odds and ends. It's got front brake lines already laid in here in the cab, so it leads me to believe that some of our brake issue may be brake line related. I didn't investigate the glove box here. What do we got? Oh, old school fuse panel. Got some bulbs there, a mouse house, some paperwork, notepads, reflectors, fuel cap. Nothing overly spectacular. So this truck is a 5-speed manual with a 2-speed rear end, which is pretty nice. I have not tried the 2-speed yet to see if it works. This is a band brake on the drive line, and it works pretty good. So with the truck running, we got like 70 pounds of oil pressure, or 65, something like that. So it's got plenty of oil pressure. Got 79,000 original miles according to the owner, and I think all the gauges worked, which was pretty impressive. This guy here, I've never seen anything quite like this, so if you guys know what this is, let me know. I think it's some sort of a vacuum system for really old school trailers and brakes, because the gauge is not an air pressure gauge, it's a vacuum gauge, and it builds up just fine when you start and run the truck, but as soon as you shut the truck off, or the truck dies out rather, that vacuum gauge just plummets back to zero. So we got a significant leak there somewhere. Check this out, I just noticed this too. I don't know if you guys can see it. Somebody inscribed on this lever here, 6578. That's pretty cool. I'm not even sure what year this truck is. I would take a look at the door tag and tell you, but I can't get the stinking door open. Felt was nice enough to leave me a pile of chains in this box and a couple of binders. So it's always a nice thing to have some more chains laying around. Seems like you can never have enough. The rear of the truck has these goofy hookups on it here, and I'm thinking that those have something to do with that vacuum brake system we were talking about. It's pretty interesting. I'm not familiar with it. In this box over here, we got the real goodies. Over here we have a nice block and tackle, a chain fall. So that's nice. The guy left that thing in there for me. See a couple tow hooks that probably belong to the front of this truck maybe. Another one of these big iron ingots. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with those. Check this out. Now that is a spud wrench, huh? I'm sure all you iron workers out there are quite familiar with that guy. Just other miscellaneous bars, and there's a speed wrench in here. All kind of little odds and ends and goodies. Ooh, look at that. That's interesting. 14-inch hatchet handle. Huh. Old school. Need another claw hammer like I need a hole in my head. Some miscellaneous air fittings down here maybe. Oh, look at that. Yeah, look at that. We got a quick connect down here. It's even a Milton. The good ones. What is this thing? Any of you guys know what this is? Some sort of flapper valve. I'm not sure what that is. Something to do with water, I think. If you know what that is, let me know. And then the last thing that I was pretty excited to get my hands on finally, I've always keeping an eye out for these railroad jacks. This is a Simplex Model 85, I believe it is. It's definitely a Simplex, and it says 85 on it, so that's what I assume it is. But anyway, these are nice, beefy farm jacks. And the great thing about them is that they lift up, of course, here at the top, and they also have this hook down on the side, so you can really get down low underneath something, get it started, crib it up, and then put the whole jack underneath of it or whatever. They're pretty handy. So a lot of people are not aware, these Loadstar trucks, they also came in a 4-door, which is a really cool looking truck. I've never personally seen one in person, but I've only seen pictures of them. But I know they're out there, so I think it would be really cool to find one of those 4-doors, and they also came in 4-wheel drive models. So from what I've done, a little bit of research on the internet, it seems like the 4-wheel drive 4-door models are pretty much like the holy grail, and they're just impossible to find one, but they are out there. So if any of you guys know where there happens to be one of these old girls, specifically a Loadstar, none of the newer trucks, none of the S1700s, none of those internationals. It has to be the international Loadstar. I'm not interested in the newer models. But if you found one of these things that was in a 4-door, drop me a line. I'd really like to build a sweet service truck out of one of these things in a 4-door. There's a 4-wheel drive chassis not too far from here that I know of that I could probably get if I really wanted to. But the 4-door is what's hard to find. I love the lines on these old trucks. I think they look beautiful, and the 4-doors just accentuate that beauty. And to build one of those into a four-wheel drive service truck with a modern diesel under the hood would just be a really fun project, and I know a lot of you guys would love that as well. All right, well, we got the old Lodestar back to the farm here without any problems. Probably looked harder on the truck pulling it in here than it really was. Whenever you have to chain yourself to a dead vehicle or something and drag it around, it becomes quite a pain because you got to do some shimmying back and forth, and then the chain keeps you from doing what you really need to do. But anywho, we got it in here without damaging the truck, which is all I'm worried about. So what's the plan here with this old beauty? Well, I'm not entirely sure yet, but I don't think I'm going to hang on to this truck. I really don't need another dump truck, and as you guys know, I have plenty of toys laying around here at the farm already. There is the possibility of using this on an upcoming job as a site truck if I get it fixed up in time, but I'm not 100% positive I'm even going to need it yet, so that remains to be seen. But the wife's been on me to quit acquiring things, so I told her this one was grandfathered in. I actually bought it in the spring and forgot about it. So that sounds like a good lie, but it's actually the truth. So what do we have to fix on this thing? Well, we got to get the stinking driver's side door to open and close for starters. That is irritating the crap out of me. So that's one thing, probably the first thing that we'll fix. The next thing, we're going to have to take that carburetor off there and rebuild it because it's just flooding, dumping fuel everywhere. It's a mess. But the engine does seem to run good when it runs, so that's a good sign. The guy that I bought it from told me that this is a replacement engine. This is not the original engine to the truck, so it's lower mileage than what's on the dash, and he said the dash mileage is accurate. It's like 76,000 miles or something, so low miles for the old truck. We got to fix the brakes, and I'm not sure if those are a Hydro Boost or what's going on in there. I know there's a vacuum gauge in the truck and it goes up when it's running, but as soon as you shut the truck off, it plunges to zero and you can hear it hissing outside somewhere. So we'll have to investigate that and figure out the vacuum leak situation. And other than that, I'm not sure. Once we have the carburetor fixed to where we can run this thing dependably, we'll have to inspect the hoist cylinder, the PTO pump, all that stuff. But I really don't think there's going to be anything wrong with it. I'm sure that the bed probably operates just fine. It seems like that guy really took good care of this unit, and I'm pretty happy to have picked it up. Everything went pretty smooth. It fired up fairly easily. I didn't have to do anything crazy. I didn't even have to clean the points, although I probably should. But really, it amazed me that the points didn't even need cleaned up. This thing just dialed right to life. So pretty sure I already have that trailer that we picked up first. I'm pretty sure that thing's already sold. And then we're gonna fix this thing up a little bit and either use it on a job and probably sell it after that. Lastly, I just want to mention this. Anytime I mention selling anything in my videos, I get bombarded with emails. So please hold your emails just yet. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with this truck. When it comes time to sell it, I'll tell you guys about it, and that'll be that. Anyways, guys, it's that time of year that the sun's setting low and I'm hungry, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. If you guys would, do me a big favor, hit that thumbs up button down there below the video. It really helps me out and doesn't cost you guys a thing. And of course, if you're not already, be sure to tickle that subscribe button so I can catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Later.